Hello everyone, and welcome back to Heaven's Secret 2, Season 2, Episode 2. The update came today, and I'm so excited for this. Earth needs help. Nah, we need help. Our heart needs help. I'm intrigued to know what's gonna happen with MALBONTE, honestly. Because MALBONTE and Lucifer are like the only ones that stayed at the school. And since I didn't kill a war, he's there as well. And apparently, Astaroth is also gonna be a root. So, rip me. I hope you prepared everything for my burial. I wrote it once in the comments. Oh god, I can't. Okay, let me stop talking. There's a science to being tough when called for, but gentle when needed. Who's going to teach me that? You have to teach yourself sometimes in life, girl. That's the only way you'll survive. Episode 2, training on the battlefield. Right. Mimi threw a pillow at Addie as we were all laughing our heads off. I'm worried about my soulmate. What are you laughing at? Oh, I love her outfit. Shut up. You don't understand anything. Did baby Mimi get offended? Is this about Christopher? Please. Addie, stop it. Mimi looks great in this. Oh, you did not shit on her outfit, Addie. Say, Sammy has always had good taste. I love this. Sammy has always had good taste. She twirled in front of the mirror. We're not at school anymore. We're in the order. We should dress appropriately. I cannot. Mimi smiled, straightening her shoulders and proudly lifting her chin. What, are you done? No, I fastened the last button. Hermit! I'm so sorry. It's the way they, use even the name of the outfit to shit on you. It's so funny to me. Warrior, commander, choose all of them. No, I don't wanna. Hermit, warrior, I don't know. Honestly, I kind of like this. Why do I like this? Because you can actually see that this is see-through. You literally see the tattoo. I take warrior because, like I said, it's see-through. And as we can see, I took my time to save all these gems. Over 600. That's a new one. Addie clicked his tongue. At least it looks comfortable. Addie's face! Are we seeing his face? Are we seeing his eyes? This is literally the expression. In Italian, we say alzare gli occhi al cielo. And that means literally just looking up to the sky. Translated in English. That's so funny. He's actually looking up like this. As in, just leave me alone. I threw a second pillow at him. Yeah, you do not shit on my outfit. Maybe I should choose a different outfit. No, I'm gonna stop with this one. It looks so cute. I hastily combed my hair, all the while heeding Mimi's endless advice. Oh my god. Oh my god. Am I a horrible person for saying I don't like any of these? You know what? I'm gonna go with this one because I think it suits this blue scarf. I didn't like any of these, but it's fine. It suits the scarf. Stop with this one. We can go now. Let us go into war. Considering the fact that we have an actual character in the story that is called War, this is actually one of the dirtiest jokes I've ever made so far. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Mem and Dino, Winchester, and Eliza were waiting for us at the training site. Not us training. They looked collected, but a little agitated, as if we were testing their patience. Mimi, baby, you're holding everyone up again. We're not going to a mortal fashion show. Addie and Mammon burst out laughing and Mimi muttered, I had nothing to do with it. It will be a dangerous journey. We must get more portal stones. The horsemen are very strong. There's our only chance of salvation when something goes wrong. Sammy raised his hand. Yes. What's so dangerous out there? Don't we really want to ask? We must not be seen. We feel that after our little show at the academy, the horsemen may have figured out where we got the stones, and we're waiting for us there. So you're leading us into a trap. That's a wonderful assignment. Addie, honestly, like I said, he's my spirit animal. Like, aren't we all sometimes just thinking shady like this, but we usually don't have the guts to just spill it. I just say however I feel things, and then I regret it afterwards, but that's something different. I'm something different, okay? We know of several caves where this mineral can be found. Surely there are others. We don't exactly know where they might be waiting to ambush us. So we're going to split up. Yes, that's the best idea we had so far in this entire story. We split up. Malbonte catches me. Dino gets caught by Plague. Mimi's gonna get caught by Christopher. Addie's gonna get caught by War. I don't know. Great job, everyone. Great job. Period. Mammon, you get me, sir. No, not under any circumstances. That would make us even easier targets. Mammon spread his wings to their full extent, shook his feathers, and before throwing himself into the arms of the wind said, "Let's not waste time, youngsters. I want to stretch my wings." Eliza and Winchester followed the demon. They rushed headlong into the clouds. Are you ready? No. I'm always ready. We're always ready. But honestly, that choice was a mood. Do I have a choice? I don't. I second that. Because you're my spirit animal, Addie. It was cold up in the air. At first, I tried to control my body temperature, but it wasn't long before I felt like I was interfering with my focus. I had to get used to the goosebumps and a slight but ever-increasing chill. Addie performed pirouettes. He's just saying I'm living my best life, like, gliding between us as he cracked inappropriate jokes. Addie is me, people, now that I think about it. When he blurted out yet another remark, Mimi darted after him, unable to stand it any longer. Ooh. Sammy moved to fly beside me. Sammy's literally the cutest bean ever. He's just like, you know what, I'm gonna keep you company. And he was not killed in season 1. The makers learned. Let me stop. How are you? Sammy. I can't, I'm sorry, I love Sammy. Things seem to be getting better. I agree. Sammy was silent for a while, then cautiously added, I understand you're tired and you've been through a lot. But you made it through the war with Malbonte. You survived. Believe in yourself. Oh, Sammy. I love Sammy. I hate this, though. So in the neutral version, we still fought Malbonte. I had the Malbonte version. I fought alongside with him to take down Sifa. Why? Why am I having this? I don't like this. Even if your power has been taken away, maybe it won't be forever. He said it in a strange way, fumbling with his words. I squinted at him. Did you have a vision? Oh, that's right. Sammy became agitated. For a long time, he looked somewhere in front of him, measuredly flapping his wings. I wish I was better at my gift. I wish I could control it. Sammy, did you see me regain my power? It's all a bit unclear. Sometimes I don't understand what I see. Visions are allegorical, and this only makes them more confusing. Is that a yes? We just want to know if we can get our powers back so that we can bitch slap Plague. Honestly, that's interesting, though. I put that in there. I think it was episode 1 of season 2, where I said maybe it's possible that she has the capability to take away, as in absorb, the power of another supernatural being and use them as her own, but she doesn't actually have powers on her own. Because Malbonte keeps on saying we're an empty vessel capable to absorb powers of his. But what if that is not just with him. What if we can't just take Malbonte's powers, but also take the powers of every single supernatural being? As in of every single angel, every single demon, every single hybrid, every single god, perhaps? Plague, war. You know what I mean? Instead of answering, Sammy nodded toward Winchester and Mammon, who had stopped.
We're here. No need to bell.
An island consisting only of a single cave floated ahead, bobbing up and down ever so slightly. Dense clouds surrounded the island, giving the area a tantalizing air of danger. Let's go down. Winchester and Mammon flew first, with Eliza close behind. The rest of us brought up the rear.
I'll check the perimeter.
Dinah disappeared to the other side of the island. I do not understand. That's a beautiful cave, though. The cave was both cozy and creepy at the same time. A long corridor led deeper into penetrable darkness. Lights flickered along the walls, quivering like burning candles. They seemed to appear out of nowhere on their own. In their light, the stone formations of the walls looked like disordered, screaming faces. Moss crept over the damp walls.
Spooky. It's very cold here.
The cave is defending itself, trying to drive us away.
The island is clear. Good. Maybe we won't have any adventures.
Never say never. Winchester touched one of the tiny lights, and it flared at the tip of his finger.
Let's go.
He touched the wall and slid his hand along it as he slowly walked on. Where are the stones we're looking for?
They're inside. When you find them, you'll feel a vibration.
Everyone except Mammon pressed their hands against the wall. Noticing his wife's look of displeasure, he hastily said,
Mimita, it's dirty.
Since when have you been such a clean freak?
This dampness, it's driving me crazy.
Uh-oh. He laughed awkwardly, rocked back on his heels, and looked around. He seemed genuinely uncomfortable. What's wrong? Are you afraid of moss?
What? Of course not. It's just unpleasant. The great and terrible Mammon is afraid of a plant.
He's also afraid of sandworms. Mimi. She's like, I'm just gonna throw the rest of it also out there.
I hope you'll never meet them, Mamotique.
That's family drama. We're entering dangerous territories, but I do love to see the family dynamic from Mimi. Some of us couldn't help laughing, but Winchester suddenly raised his fist, silencing us.
Someone's here.
Me. Let me stop. Following his words, we heard shuffling and a prolonged wheeze as if someone was suffocating. The deathly groans also came from somewhere behind us. They surrounded us, forcing us to gather in a circle, pressing our backs together. What devilry is this? I've heard this kind of wheezing somewhere before. Something stirred in the darkness of the tunnels. But these motions were strangely inhuman and devoid of life. Someone was approaching.
Come out.
Ooh. Also a new face of Mammon? Alright. Mammon waved his hand, sending a stream of fire into the darkness. For a moment, it illuminated unfamiliar faces. Faces that were distorted by plague.
Those are Plague's puppets.
I don't even know what to say. Like, we saw it in episode 2 of season 1 that she used her strange rats to infect people, as in immortals. Humans immediately died, and immortals apparently turn into this. That's horrible. They look like zombies. The infected immortals, see? Were slowly closing in on us from all sides. That bitch decided to play it safe and sent them to all the islands. What if she has a connection with them and Plague already knows we're here?
Then we need to get out of here before she arrives. We don't have much time, Angel. Then let's not waste any of it.
Dino stepped forward with his hands outstretched. A bright light blinded us as it engulfed the entire cave, and then there was the whistle of energy slicing through flesh. Ooh, I feel bad for the immortals though. But they literally lost their consciousness and their entire sense of reasoning. They literally lost their brain, technically, when she infected them. She turned them into lifeless puppets, as in their mind is completely blank, it's gone. They only listen to Plague's command. That's so sad. The light faded, leaving the puppets mangled, motionless corpses in front of us.
They just kept coming.
Others had already taken their place, mindlessly stepping over their fellows. One of the plague-stricken puppets grabbed my hand and, opening its rotten mouth wide, lunged at me. What should I do? Scream, bite his hand, push him away, bash his head against the wall, push him away, bite his hand? I tried to bite him, but the purge smell made me sick. I pulled away and shook my arm as hard as I could, but he only held tighter and bit into my skin, poisoning my veins. Nice. This is all bullshit. I felt weak. Yeah. Bash his head against the wall? Get lost! With my other hand, I grabbed his head and smashed it against the wall with all my might. For a moment, he was disoriented, and I kicked him towards the flash of Dino's energy. That was funny. The puppet, along with others, met his end. But the fighting continued. Eliza charmed the infected, temporarily incapacitating them. Mimi, Addie, Sammy, and I fought them in our own ways. However, we counted on the strongest to do the heavy lifting. Yeah. The enclosed space prevented Dino, Mammon, and Winchester from using the full force of their abilities. Honestly, now that I think about it, me biting him was a bad choice, because if they are capable to infect you by biting you, wouldn't you automatically get infected when you bite their flesh then? Now that I think about it, it wasn't that bright, but I got the second one. Trying not to hurt their own, they targeted enemies closely, but this didn't help too much. Dino's bright flashes of energy blinded us. Acrid air filled our lungs. While this wouldn't kill us, it kept us from focusing.
We need to get out of here alive. No, the stones come first. We need them. Mimi.
We're on it. She gave us a sign.
Let's find as many as we can.
We started touching the walls at random, hoping to feel a vibration. Soon we heard Addie's voice.
I found one.
Me too. Keep going. A minute later, Sammy also found something, but no matter how much I ran my hand over the wall's slimly surface, I felt nothing but my own frantic heartbeat. It's useless. I'm basically human. Oh, I feel bad for her. Nah, we do not give up. I can't give up. I need to keep trying. Keep on trying, girl. If I would have given up the first chance life threw upon me, I would be dead. Nah, we keep on pulling through. We're capable. We're strong. I continue to run my hands along the walls, ignoring the frequent shouts from the others.
One more.
2 more.
Go on, there are a lot of them here.
Focus, you can do it. I closed my eyes. No more puppets, no danger, no friends. I was alone with the cave. I leaned in closer and whispered to myself rather than the cave. Help me. Yes. Yes. This is exactly what I meant. Sometimes you need to rely on yourself. You can't only rely on the people close to you, on your friends, on your family. If they're not around there to help you, you're all on your own, and you will be defeated easily. You need to find strength within yourself. You need to be capable to fight by yourself. Find the strength within you. You don't necessarily need magical strength, as in magical powers, but you need your inner strength. Inner strength is what keeps you going. Find strength within yourself, and you will be capable to do so much. And finally, I felt a vibration under my fingers. I moved my fingers a little further, and the vibration intensified, becoming so strong that I wondered how I hadn't felt it before. It's here. I turned to Addie. It's here. Help me.
You found one? Well done.
Addie pressed his hand against the wall.
I don't feel anything. Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Okay, get back.
He directed his energy into the wall. It shook so forcefully that I could see it, and then the wall cracked. Addie hit it a few times. In the resulting hole, we found about a dozen portal stones. Period. Oh, that looks so beautiful. And we found a dozen, not just one. They sparkled with a dark light so brilliant and pristine that I almost burst into tears of pride at what I'd accomplished. You helped the order replenish its portal stone supply.
Wow, hey, look how many Simona found.
Awesome!
That's great, now we can go.
With an armful of stones, Mimi shouted, "We're done. Let's go. Mammon!" Mammon released a burst of fire from his mouth. Mammon being a king as always. Like a circus performer, blocking the puppets' way forward. They kept advancing. The first wave of infected died, but the rest kept moving closer, stepping over the bodies.
This is getting creepy.
Me! We flew towards the exit. If anyone got left behind, I'm gonna scream. The fresh air felt warmer compared to the cave. The sun was shining and the sky was clear for miles ahead. Still, it didn't feel comfortable at all there. Creepy. Addie was right. Mimi loved. That was fun. Mimi. Mammon fussed with his robes, brushing away something that only he could see. Dana was intensely watching the sky, looking for the horsemen and their followers. Winchester remained silent, lost in his own thoughts.
Simona found a whole cache of stones. If not for her, we would have been messing around in there for a long time.
I knew Sammy wanted to cheer me up. I thought this was sweet, so I reached out as we flew, and for a moment our fingers touched. I love it. Sammy is so cute.
Well done, Simona.
Thank you. We flew towards the resistance base camp without slowing down. What I don't understand is why we didn't get, strength point, We found something. We paid. At some point, Addie stopped and turned, staring intently in the direction of an impending storm somewhere out there in the distance.
What's the matter?
I think someone found us.
They're in the cave.
He swallowed hard, trying to hide his fear.
The horseman.
Yeah.
How do you know?
He can feel it?
I set a trap.
Uh-oh. What kind of trap? Yeah. Just imagine you leaving a bit of your energy inside of that cave. And as soon as someone gets near the place where you released that energy, you feel it. You get a tingling sensation, like some sort of alarm. Maybe he did something like this. What kind of trap? Yeah. I am so good, people. I am so good.
An energy trap. They tripped it and I could feel it.
I am so good. He stopped short, swallowed again, and added in a choked voice,
We need to hurry.
They know, so we can't go back there. Winchester waved his hand.
Move.
Addie was looking ahead, but it was clear that he could still feel the all-consuming destructive power of the horsemen. I've heard of those traps. They're hard to set, though. You have to maintain your concentration or they'll dissipate. I didn't know you could do that.
I'm not a very strong fighter, but there are things I can do.
And I can't do anything. Wrong. We were capable to find the stones. I'd like to see you kick somebody's ass. You need to train more. I'd like to see you kick someone's ass. Let's be real here. He's not only good with words, he's also gonna be capable to kick someone's ass. I've only seen you get beaten up so far. Bitch! Addie playfully shoved me aside.
Oh, go to hell.
Nah. Then we flew in silence. That was cute. I love the friendship between these four. Okay. This literally looks like the map that MALBONTE had in Season 3. Mom counted the stones we collected. She sat down on the chair and, tapping her finger on the table thoughtfully, stared out the window.
Well done, Addie. And that boy, Sammy. I think they need training. We could use a seer. You've got a lot of stones this time. Simona helped.
Me. Mom's lips trembled. She said softly,
Well done.
Period. Okay. She stared out the window again. Eliza moved closer. Her eyes followed Rebecca's gaze.
Arogan is meditating again.
Mom suddenly looked at me.
Go to him.
Why?
Maybe talking to him will help you as it once helped me. Go. Eliza and I need to talk.
You could have just told me that you wanted me to get the fuck out. I nodded and left the study. Whatever you say, girl. Will he even want to talk to me? Why wouldn't he want to talk to you? I was seized by excitement that I didn't fully understand. Arogan sat on the grass with his legs folded in the lotus position. The white raven circled him. Oh, now I remember who Arogan is. Yeah, but it's not like we killed him. That stupid guy from the council did. Without opening his eyes, Arogan said,
Your energy is weakened. Did you know that?
I know. I sat next to him and looked at the resistance building.
Of course, this has its advantages. You're not as easy to detect.
Do you also think that I was undeserving of becoming a counselor?
Undeserving. You fought for heaven until the very end. But belittle your past accomplishment.
Aww, that's cute. And yet?
Are you asking me if I think you're weak and short-sighted? I was dead and cannot judge how you regained.
But honestly, I love people like that. He's just straightforward. He was like, I was dead. I can't judge how you reigned.
But you're still the same naive mortal. Deprived of your power, you lost the use of even those scraps that are given to every mortal.
Thank you. But is this my fault? He opened his eyes and looked at the sky, which was covered with clouds.
You don't believe in yourself. You rely too much on MALBONTE's darkness.
Period. She only thought that she was powerful because she had MALBONTE's powers. As soon as she lost them, she's like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna survive in heaven now without his powers? She only thought that she was something because of MALBONTE's powers. But she was someone before she got them, and she is someone after she got them taken away as well. She is someone. She just has to fight harder to find that inside of herself. She has to believe in herself. She has to believe that she's capable. She has to believe that she can do something even without supernatural powers.
By losing it, you've lost your footing.
Yeah. So
You're blocking your own abilities. Perhaps you no longer possess power, providence, or the ability to manipulate, but you can already do many things that ordinary mortals can't. Forget that you were human once. You're a demon.
What should I say? Gain a little bit of footing, girl.
I'm glad to help.
Arogan's words made me think. We were silent for a while. The leaves rustled, the gate creaked, and the ground trembled as the island swayed. How often do you meditate?
Every day.
Why? The white-winged raven flew up to us. He landed at my feet and, shaking his head, blinked his black eyes.
That's insane. I think you know about the ability to control animals.
Yes, but I've only seen it a few times. It was about 5 years ago.
It's actually not that rare. Providence, for example, is rare, and you're lucky to encounter such a diamond, albeit uncut.
Arogan stroked the raven's head, and the bird closed his eyes slightly in contempt, exacting the attention.
Those who are able to control animals can choose from two paths. The first path, you can control groups of them, like a herd of horses. There's a great power, but the connection with the animals isn't that strong. They follow the emotion imposed on them, nothing more. The second path is to choose a single animal and develop your connection to it gradually, throughout your life. You can see through his eyes, understand his intentions, and communicate mentally. The bond is as strong and unbreakable as if you were one.
Is that why you meditate? You're working on bonding with your raven?
Correct.
Is that your primary ability?
Yes, but I also train my energy, agility, and speed, and I'm able to develop them, at least partially. I suggest you do the same. You may not have any special abilities, but if you develop your speed and agility, you'll be able to defeat anyone who has a moderate control of energy.
Dana mentioned something like this. Arogan nodded.
Dana's an excellent fighter and a conscientious immortal. He is one of the few who deserves respect.
Wow. Arogan is interesting to talk to. Ask about his life. I'm intrigued. Where did you meet this raven?
His name is Amicus.
Ooh, Amicus. Hearing his name, the raven raised his head and stepped closer to me. He hates us. May I?
He doesn't mind.
I stroked his head and he closed his eyes just like with Arogan.
I met him on Silver Island.
I've never been there. They say it's dangerous.
Only if you run into a certain not-so-friendly tribe.
He smiled enigmatically.
I was young and not particularly talented, or so I thought. I couldn't figure out what I was best at. I did well, but I was not standing. And then I decided to travel. Ignoring my mother's rules, I rushed off to wherever my eyes led me.
I smiled again.
My mother was worried, but I was young and I didn't understand. I flew from one island to another, getting into so much trouble that I'm surprised I made it out alive. I developed many of my abilities, but I was still weak. I understood that much. And then the sky led me to Silver Island. Did you know that was the first island Sifa created? It was like paradise until darkness made its way there.
No, I didn't.
That's where I found my purpose.
Arogan looked at me, and I squirmed with embarrassment. His gaze suddenly seemed aged and wise, piercing right through me.
You're right. The island is a hostile place. It's full of dangerous animals, ones that, unlike the animals of Earth, are capable of killing us. Not to mention there are mortals who don't want to share their territory with outsiders.
Oh, do we get black flashes? Oh my god. There, seeing the diversity of
The animals on the island, I realized that I was interested in observing strange and dangerous creatures. I made notes in my bestiary, drew them, and recorded their strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes I fought them if they attacked, until one day a member of the Virate tribe caught my trail, sensing the presence of a stranger. He saw my white wings, and his eyes instantly filled with bloodlust.
Oh?
I won't deny it. I tried to find their tribe, hoping to observe them from afar, but they are stuck to creatures guarding their domain. Couldn't be found unless they wished to be. I'm a wanderer. I didn't mean to disturb you. My pacifying gesture went unheeded. He whispered something, and the trees rustled chaotically. And then 3 groups of monkeys with sharp teeth jumped out at me. They pounced on me. The Virate continued to whisper something, and obeying his orders, they tore my feathers and bit my neck, arms, face, anywhere they could. I started to scream and struggle, but I stumbled and rolled down as a slope, and then there was a splash and the current swept me away. I got out somehow, digging my nails into the damp soil, and climbed out and sitting on the grass along the shore. It seemed that I had returned to the same place. I was completely surrounded by foliage. See if I need to get out of here. Now the birds are going to follow me. I felt someone watching me. The raven clutched a branch with its claws and slowly tilted its head first to one side and to the other. His pale feathers looked alien among the forest colors. We stared at each other for such a long time that it was as though we spoke with our words. Something inside me clicked, revealing a depth of possibilities that I'd never considered possible. And then I whispered as the Virate whispered to the monkeys. Come with me. The raven silently opened its wings and flew to my shoulder.
Aww. So something good came out of the horrible experience, and you've been together ever since?
I had to learn to communicate with the raven as I went, while the Virates were breathing down my neck, ready to tear me apart for the unsolicited visit. I didn't know how to control animals, but the raven chose me. He helped me.
Arogan stroked his friend again. Aww. He was silent for a while and then added,
Don't give up on yourself. Maybe you just haven't found your true power yet.
Maybe. Love it. And we gained a strength point.
The table must have been set by now. You can join the others. I haven't finished my meditation yet.
I got up but was in no hurry to leave. Can I ask you something?
Of course.
Because of MALBONTE, you and your sister were killed. Are you ready to accept it into the ranks of the resistance? Arogan's raven with a sharp flap of his wing started away.
That's a difficult question that I'm contemplating, Simona. Who am I to judge whether he deserves forgiveness or not?
Wow. But that's a wise thing to say, honestly. That's a wise thing to say. Because as soon as I meet you, I can't immediately judge you because I don't know you. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know if you have done horrible things in your life that deserve me to think of you badly. I don't have the right to say anything about you until I actually understand you and where you're coming from. Then I can say something about your movements. I think what Arogan is trying to say, he's like, he didn't just do me any harm. He did harm to those he murdered. He did harm to other people as well, you know? But Sifa also killed his parents, and he didn't have a good childhood as well. He was separated from his body. He felt the need to hurt the people that were involved in him losing himself, in him being split up. And that was his way of dealing with the pain he was having on the inside. In his eyes, maybe he was acting childishly, etc. And him literally saying, who am I to judge whether he deserves forgiveness or not, is one of the wisest things you can say. Because he's like, I'm not holding a judge, not because of him, but because of me. I can't move on. I can't move forward if I keep on holding on to the past. If I would go even further into psychology, I would have to say if MALBONTE has forgiven himself, then he also deserves forgiveness. Maybe he knows that MALBONTE is a good guy deep down, because from what we see, MALBONTE has been in the Order of Resistance, or like he has been helping the Order of Resistance. If MALBONTE is capable to forgive himself for everything he has done after he merged with his good side and became his true whole person, if he's capable to forgive himself, then he's worthy of forgiveness. But I don't have the right to judge whether he does deserve forgiveness or not. I love the writing in this.
So far he's chosen a convenient tactic. You can't betray anyone if you don't choose a side. He's afraid of getting close, afraid of responsibilities. I don't respect him, but does it matter?
Arogan shifted into a more comfortable position, closed his eyes and said,
Don't keep your friends waiting. The meal has already begun.
Enjoy your meditation. I bowed to him automatically, although he didn't see it, and went to the dining room. He doesn't like talking about MALBONTE, no matter how much he tries to appear indifferent. Is it because of his sister's death? Does he regret that he got a second chance and she didn't? I mean, she was his sister. I took a seat between Addie and Sammy, cock blockers. Let me stop. Donnie leaned forward so our eyes would meet and mouthed,
Run.
What? Dino chuckled into his glass. What happened? Sammy slapped Addie, who was coughing, on the back. He choked in another fit of laughter.
You'll see, he hasn't finished yet. You're giving me another migraine. I can't believe I was so sad when you were killed. I didn't appreciate the peace.
Eliza's words from the other end of the hall caused another explosion of laughter.
I didn't warm up my voice.
Mammon stood by the fireplace, turned on his heel towards the table, and clearing his throat, sang in a low, rough, bassy voice. Oh God, that's why he said run. Oh God. I covered my mouth, holding back a laugh.
Don't mind him. He loves torturing others when he's in a good mood.
Ooh! Mammon continued to hum his tune. Honestly, let him be. He's an icon, let him be. Addie flushed from breathless laughter, wiped away his tears, and began to clap, cheering the demon on. Addie! Addie! Donnie cupped his hands around his mouth and yelled,
That's great. Opera singers can only dream of such talent.
Oh, I love it. This literally is family dinner time. I love it. I love the connection that we all have with each other. Eliza shot him a furious look. He's great.
Stop it. Don't encourage him.
Oh, Mammon does not need encouragement. He's a king.
Let him be, woman. He knows a lot about music.
Mammon. And again, the long howl of a dying bear filled the room. Oh no.
Sifa, help me. I'm done here. Go on then. Don't bother us rising.
Stop! Addie! Addie! Eliza smacked Eddie crossed the back of the head and left the room. In the meantime, Mammon was walking around the table with his arms outstretched like an opera diva craving attention. Oh my god, I love this man. Between his fingers, gold coins were appearing out of nowhere, which he gave to everyone who sang along or clapped. Is he just making that money?
Of course, what did you expect? That knows how to lure people in with wealth.
I had to remind myself why I was there, but I was laughing too hard to eat. Ultimately, the dinner turned into a performance and everyone got involved.
I'm glad you can find reasons for fun at times like this, but there won't be any reason left and things are allowed to continue.
Mom stood in the doorway with her arms crossed. She's right, she loves to ruin everything. Well, that was to be expected. I want this to keep going. She's right. Mammon wheezed, losing his rhythm, and abruptly fell silent.
Come on, I wanted to cheer up the children.
I love Mammon.
They're not children. We need to discuss something.
I jumped up from the table and followed Mammon Dino. Mom hesitated as if she wanted to stop me, but in the end she kept silent. You better shut up. Do you mind?
It's fine. Arogan wanted you to be there too.
Oh, good. It appears we left a good impression on this man. When we entered, Arogan greeted us briefly and got right to the point.
The moral world is on the brink of collapse. They're much easier to kill than we are, and this is a problem. We're up to our necks in problems. I will protect our world.
For the first time, Gerald was attending such a meeting, and he didn't remain on the sidelines.
We must not allow the horsemen to destroy the mortals. They are now part of our world. If we can resist, it'll be even worse. It's our duty, Eliza. I disagree. Going down there is dangerous. We may lose the mortals. Our forces are small enough as it is.
The horsemen will become stronger by feeding on human panic. If we help the mortals, the horsemen won't be able to feed on them. Mom just shook her head as if she disagreed, but she didn't say anything.
Simona's right. The people are filled with emotions that will only make them stronger. Today we will go to where the horsemen were last seen. Let's take the best healers and those who can control the elements. How's that going to work? The mortal must not know about us.
Arogan was silent for a suspiciously long time and said,
There's hard times. We don't have time to become careful. We'll consider the consequences later.
What kind of chaos will there be if they find out about us? The door opened and Miss Lena and Yor entered the room. Miss Lena was carrying a tray of cups while Yor walked in front of her with an air of importance, his hands steepled as usual.
We decided you could use some soothing tea. How are you, my dear?
Much better, thanks. And you?
Would you like some tea?
Yes. I took a small sip. The torrid hot mixture warmed me from the inside. It's delicious, thanks. Miss Alina's face lit up with a grateful smile.
Now we must decide who will go on Earth. Since I'm the one postponing it, I'll lead the operation. Rebecca will stay here in case I get killed.
Damn! He talked about this casually as if discussing going to the shore.
I would like Simona and Dana to participate too.
Okay.
But Dana, you can help her regain her basic immortal abilities.
Oh my god.
Okay. Eliza will need your skills too. Well, okay. I'm going too. I didn't doubt it. If you have any questions.
I moved closer to the table where Arogan sat. Is the baby we rescued safe?
Yes.
The horseman had already used his power as well as Titus. Who knows, maybe they still need them? And also Kira. Plague has become attached to her. As far as I understood it, the girl hasn't opened the seal yet. Lisa was also there. She knows a lot. The cups clinked quietly, but I hardly noticed that.
We're not going back to the school. That would be suicide.
The clatter of breaking dishes rang out. Miss Alina's hands had fallen to her sides. Spilled tea and porcelain shards glittered at her feet.
Did you say Elisa?
Oh? Yes. Miss Alina backed away and ran out of the office. Oh gosh, is she the sister? Gerald's eyes burned with fire.
Did you know about this? Yes. Why didn't you save her?
Because she was a bitch and she didn't want to be saved.
We didn't have time. Lies. I could have done it. We saved others, but not her. If he would have told you, you would have died at the hands of her son. They didn't want to come back.
That.
Eliza isn't the same person that Miss Melina remembers.
Who is she? Gerald wiped his face with his hand and began to pace like a cornered animal. Yes. Oh, I'm good.
Eliza is Miss Melina's sister.
But isn't she dead?
That's right. She was brought back somehow. Earlier than everyone else.
How much earlier?
It's hard to say.
Gerald shook his head reproachfully.
You could have saved her.
Poor Miss Melina. Go after her. I'll talk to her. Gerald nodded gratefully to me. There was a difficult conversation ahead of him with Arogan and my mother. I ran to look for Miss Melina. Poor Miss Melina, but she was a bitch. She didn't want to come here. She was hiding behind a pillar, a hand pressed to her heaving chest. Miss Melina tried to contain her distress. Hey, how are you? I gently touched her shoulder as she immediately wrapped her arms around me, searching for support.
She's dead. Long dead. Oh no, not the tears. Why didn't she come see me?
Oh, Miss Melina.
Did you see her? How is she? And her son? That was what she wanted to name her baby.
Miss Melina squeezed my hands and looked inquiringly into my eyes.
Tell me.
I'll tell you everything. Just don't cry, okay? I wiped the tears rolling down her cheek with my thumb. I would have done the same.
Good. Yes, I'm sorry.
She tried to pull herself together. I told her about all the times I'd encountered Eliza and Titu. Miss Melina listened attentively without interrupting, and only the occasional tremors that ran across her face betrayed her terrible agitation. When I finished, Miss Melina leaned back against the column and stared off in front of her.
I never broke the rule, but when Sifa sent her down to Earth, I couldn't resist. I became a teacher to be closer to the Earth's eye, to be able to spy on her without going down among the mortals. It's forbidden, but...
Oh my gosh, she was also one that went with a demon, so she wasn't... Yeah. Sifa, Jesus. She began to tremble again, but managed to control her rising sobs.
She gave birth to Tito on Earth, but he was stillborn.
Her voice cracked at those words, but she continued.
Eliza fell ill and died soon after. Then I stopped looking into the eye.
I would assume that she fell ill because she still gave birth to a half-breed. When she was sent to Earth, she was a human, but since she was pregnant as a immortal, she gave birth to an immortal, and I would think that the energy of especially a hybrid are much more powerful than the energy of a normal human child. Giving birth to that hybrid killed her, technically. I don't know, maybe the child took her energy.
I stayed at school and tried not to think about her. I tried to move on. Gerald was very supportive. If not for him, who knows?
What happened to the demon?
He left the human life. He had neither wife nor descendants. He died alone at the edge of a forest.
Wow.
He didn't even try to find Eliza, to meet with her. I never understood him.
Miss Melina sobbed again. I held her tighter.
Thank you, Simona. Your calm presence is a comfort right now.
Oh,
Gerald must be very angry with them now. They didn't say anything. They left my sister there.
Don't worry about Eliza. Tito's very strong. He won't let anyone hurt his mom. Miss Melina smiled for the first time, though it was barely noticeable.
We'll see her again.
I'm sure of it. Someone coughed behind us. Period. I knew it was Gerald.
I'm sorry to disturb you.
Gerald. Miss Melina. I'm shipping Gerald and Miss Melina so much. Miss Melina clung to him like a child. Shipping moment. I tactfully retreated. Period. We know it. Run away. The night was cold and inhospitable. The wind urged us to either descend more quickly or turn back. Arogan wanted to move out at night so as not to attract the attention of humans or other immortals.
The nearest whirlwind leading to Earth is a few miles away. Let's not waste time.
We soar into the sky, or we immediately go down to Earth, okay? Oh my god. And me who just wanted to see Malbonte. When we arrived and I felt the solid ground beneath my feet, I didn't recognize the degree of devastation surrounding us at first. My eyes took in the form of houses, roads, and cars, but it was only after a few seconds that I noticed everything was destroyed. Charred walls, collapsed roofs, crumbling concrete, all dotted with the debris of former life. Cars with broken windows, flat tires, fallen trees, grass that looked black in the night, soaked with either gasoline or blood, maybe both. Motionless bodies were strewn about, twisted with agony. Their dead faces were frozen images of despair and disease. Don't give me those images. I saw a man with sunken cheeks crawling towards us in the distance. Don't do this to me. He whispered something as he looked towards us, seemingly begging for help.
Safa, what has become of this world?
Eliza, me every day.
They destroyed everything. That's what I was talking about. Let's go.
We slowly moved along the street, plunging ever deeper into the darkness. Lanterns with broken lamps hung over us like silent, hunched shadows, and not a single spark of light could be seen in the windows of the empty houses. The whole world seemed to have died out. Civilization had sunk into the wasteland of darkness. This was my home. Now it's gone. There is nothing left.
Panic spread throughout the people. The mortals didn't understand what was happening. With the arrival of four countries began to exterminate each other.
Oops. This is what the apocalypse looks like. We stopped near a 3-story building. Clinging to its last honk, a sign wobbled above. Shopping center.
As far as we know, they made this place into some sort of hospital where they bring people to die.
Arogan nodded to the few healers who had descended with us. One of them was very young. Fear shone in his eyes. Poor him. Surely he didn't have enough experience, but the Order didn't have other candidates. The healers went inside, but we continued on.
There was an explosion nearby recently. There were reports of screams coming from those who are still trapped under the rubble. Simona, Dino, and Eliza helped them. Mammon and I will survey the area and take care of the immortals who caused the devastation. Eliza, I'll leave traces of energy where there are still mortals who are consumed by the horsemen's despair and hatred. You must rid them of their obsession.
Understood.
The rest of you.
He turned to some immortals I didn't know.
Fix the burned fields. Work as hard as you did in the far lands.
The members of the Order nodded and scattered in different directions. Dino, Eliza, and I headed for the ruined building. How does Arogan know all of these details?
He was told. Just recently there was a terrible massacre here. But this mission is pointless. We will need to fly around the entire Earth and work ceaselessly to restore this world.
I don't see the point either. Nah. There's always something worth fighting for. Maybe Arogan is pursuing his own agenda. Anything's better than sitting on our hands. Literally.
Maybe you're right.
You have to do something. Even if it may not be capable to give you much. Even if you're not capable to accomplish that much. At least you know you've tried. You've done everything in your power. And that is worth a lot already. Do you actually feel good just sitting down and watching the world burn down in front of you? That's the worst feeling ever, because feeling helpless is one thing, but not even trying it is another. At least you are trying to do something. That is worth so much already.
Maybe you're right. Good. Do you hear that?
Nope. I don't hear nothing. I hear nothing. And that's a literal thing, people. Hoarse groans came from somewhere under the rubble. Oh god.
He's here.
Who's here? Dino picked up a piece of the wall that weighed at least a ton and threw it aside. Eliza was keeping up with him. But no matter how much I tried, the stone I was trying to move wouldn't budge. Yeah. Dino straightened up and looked at me sternly.
Pull yourself together. You're an immortal. If you don't believe that you can lift that rock, why would your muscles obey?
Path of composure. Alright, okay, I'll try again. I closed my eyes, inhaled through my nostrils, and slowly exhaled through my mouth. This is actually the better option when you have composure points, because temper would only make you even more enraged, and that's not always the best option. Because if you're enraged, you immediately also feel insanely frustrated and fall into despair if it doesn't work the first time you try it. When you are actually trying to calm down and are more like in your mind, encouraging yourself, I think that's helping a lot more in situations like these. You're an immortal. You're an immortal, not a human. I bent down, grabbed the stone with both hands, and began to lift it. It moved, grinding against the rubble. Huh? Confused, I almost dropped the stone, but I quickly adjusted my grip and pulled. It was harder for me than for Eliza or Dino, but the more I tried, the easier it became. Finally, we cleared a passage big enough to pull the man out from under the rubble. Oh my god. Pull him. Look at his legs.
Thank you.
The man dusted off the debris covering his entire body. The stone dust made him white all over, and the pallor of his face made him look even more haggard.
They came, aliens, gods, oh god.
He began to stutter and hyperventilate, waving his arms and then clutching at his scratched throat. He's hysterical, and that's good that we're calm. I watched indifferently as he tried to rid himself of visible bonds, and his bludgeoning eyes darted from side to side as he sought salvation from those who had already saved him.
Hush, honey. You're stressed. You need to relax. Do you smoke? No, they'll be back. I smoke. Have for 1,000 years.
Eliza took a puff, and the tip of her cigarette turned scarlet. She exhaled smoke right into the man's face. He coughed again, irritably waving the smoke away, and then suddenly froze and smiled, looking straight ahead contently. Wow.
That's it, honey. Everything is fine.
Meanwhile, Dino was looking over his injuries.
Nothing serious. The angel moved on. There's another one here.
We focused on the other survivors. One by one, we pulled them out from under the rubble. Some were on the verge of dying, and I took them to the hospital, where healers treated their wounds and fractures in front of dazed and stricken onlookers. After a while, Dino said,
I don't feel anyone alive here. But there are a lot of dead people there.
He only pursed his lips in response. Arogan is back. I pointed to a small, rapidly approaching dot in the sky. Eliza gave a start.
Something's wrong.
As soon as she said it, we heard frightening screams all around. I felt a chill as if my body had been dosed with ice water. A feeling of foreboding washed over me. Despair seemed to twist my insides into a knot. I turned around and saw Plague walking down the street, making no effort to conceal herself. People that looked half dead came out to her. Some fell to their knees and began to pray, while others ran away screaming. The horsemen opened the mortal's eyes. They parted the veil that hid our world for many centuries. When the veil fell away, the concealment of our true appearance had disappeared for some reason. They saw who helped them. They saw the wings and clothes, and forgetting what we had just done, they fled in horror, just as they did from Plague. Pathetic creatures. Oh! Girl, do you blame them? Plague does not go down to earth herself. She sends immortals, and you literally look like the immortals that attacked them. Do you blame them for running away? I stopped short, letting my gaze fall and looking inside myself. A wave of hatred swept over me. Oh, hell no. War, if you try to make me regret from killing you, I'll be so mad. He's here. I turn around. War was somewhere in front of me, hidden between the buildings, but in a single leap he crossed half the street to land next to me! Oh my god! Oh, this is gonna be so... Oh god. Yeah, I left him alive. I left him alive because I saw that he could be redeemed. Or so I thought, maybe. Oh gosh, I'm so scared. I don't know how to continue. He was gripping the hilt of his sword. So this is it. Are you going to kill me now? He took a step forward. His face didn't show any emotions, but I could feel how he was being torn apart by hatred and unanswered questions. Yeah, we left. Oh, I do not have to hold that speech again, right, guys? I don't. I had it in the finale.
Why didn't you kill me?
Do you want me to kill you? I'm sorry. War, just to be specific here. Did you bring your sword and held it out, hoping that I would grab it and stab you with it? Is that what you're trying to do? Or is he technically saying that us being away while he had to accept the fact that he loves us is too much torture now that we're not around him? What is it, War? What is it? I swallowed hard and took a step back. Because I like you? Ooh. I mean, this is not a final choice. And it's not golden, so it would be fine. And I didn't took pity on him. You're not so bad. I didn't pity him. I thought that he was worthy of being redeemed, so I didn't kill him. So technically, I like you. It doesn't necessarily have to mean in a romantic way, people. Even though I like him, let's be real here. This is the MALBONTE version. Second, I thought he was worthy of being redeemed, so I didn't want to murder him. So technically, I grew fond of him. I like him. War staggered as if I had just raised a sword against him once again. Something stirred in the horseman's soul. Aw.
So he fell into this trap with me.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, because he likes us, yeah. Huh?
Simona, run. I'll hold him off.
No, honey! Dino shielded me with his body, energy sparking from his palms as he raised them. I have the feeling this is gonna get War mad. Because, I mean, he did just admit that he didn't have to say it. I already knew that he fell in love with us. And he hinted at the fact that he fell in love with us at the finale, but I don't think that it was that clear for many viewers yet. Now it was actually clear because he was like, you fell into the trap with me when you say I like you. So that means he feels the same way. I think this is gonna make him mad that Dino is shielding us from him because he is like, why are you shielding her from me? You actually believe I could harm her or something? But War repelled the attack with a swing of his sword, grabbed my arm and pulled me to him. Uh-oh. 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 I started something I can't finish, ladies and gentlemen. Oh god, I think this is the end of the line. Let her go. Oh, he's not gonna let me go. Oh,
I will return her to you.
What are you doing? War soared into the sky, taking me with him. Oh gosh, no. Before we vanished, I saw the grin on Plague's face. Oh gosh. Oh god. War. Oh god, War took us. War kidnapped us. It's over now. No matter how I tried, I couldn't get War to talk the entire time we were flying. Where is he taking me? He held me to him with an iron grip, preventing me from escaping and flying away. The horseman only released me when we landed on one of the islands. Next to it, another huge island hung in the air nearby. It floated above our heads like a satellite. I pushed War away from me, retreated a few steps, and darted into the sky in an attempt to escape. Yeah, don't try it, girl. But he swiftly overtook me and flung me back to the land and on the island. Yeah. What do you want?
You said you like me. Why are you angry?
Sir, you kidnapped me. So what? Doesn't... Period. I mean... I said I like you, but that does not give you the right to kidnap me, So what? Does that mean you can just kidnap me?
Are you afraid?
Why is he shook now? He drew his sword and threw it at my feet. He wants us to kill him so badly, people. He put his hands up as if to suggest he was defenseless, which he obviously wasn't. Yeah.
I won't harm you. I just want to talk.
Oh no, he's broken. People, I can't. About what? Oh, I think I understand why he threw the sword now. Because that's like the obvious thing that he could like take and stab us with. And he like threw it at our feet to show, yeah, I'm defenseless. Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you. About what? Wara looked puzzled.
I don't know, just talk.
Oh. People, I can't, I'm sorry. But that's a new expression, War. He sat down on the grass with his back to me. Either so confident that I wouldn't kill him, or so devastated that my choice didn't matter. I picked up the sword and then sat next to War, but I didn't remove my hand from the hilt.
I like this place.
I don't know what to feel about the situation right now.
If you ever want to see me, fly here.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is actually him just admitting that he's completely in love with us. He did tell to Dino and to Eliza that he would return us. And perhaps Blake smiled because she knew that we had stirred something inside of this man and that he would take us somewhere where she possibly also could come. We know that they're close. We know that Blake hates him in a certain sense, but War loves her. Maybe she knows where he would go, but I don't think that he means to set a trap for us saying this, but this is him saying, if you ever want to see me, if you ever feel the desire to just be close to me, to spend some time with me, I'm here. Oh my god.
If you ever want to see me, fly here.
You destroyed my home.
Home? Oh yes, you were human.
Are you kidding me? From his lips, the word human really did sound tantamount to a bug.
He looked at me and answered sincerely, Sir, but this is our purpose.
To bring misfortune? Damn.
Right, but it's not your place to judge the mother of life. If she felt it was necessary, who are you to argue with the universe itself?
I couldn't think of anything to say and silently stared at the island floating in front of us. War, you are something else, okay? He was like, who are you to judge the universe itself? I'm not capable to judge the universe itself, but your purpose is to inspire hatred in others and feed on that. And you don't want to get close to anyone because you know that love is dangerous to you, yet you still open up to us. Isn't that technically against your nature? And against the universe itself? So what are you trying to tell me here?
Hunger despises me for my stupidity. But he's interested in getting to know you.
Why is everyone interested in getting to know me?
Only he will be disappointed. I don't know why I fell in love.
Love with you! Oh my god! War! I feel, people, I'm crying. I'm suffering. No! I can't go on, people. It's too hard.
I don't know why I fell in love with you. There's nothing special about you.
That's a lie. I don't think that you want to admit why you like us. He chuckled, imagining his brother's upset face. You fell in love with me because all creatures yearn to experience this feeling. It doesn't matter how powerful you are. Yes, but you don't fall in love with someone just by looking at their face. You fall in love with their personality traits. You have to like something about me. You can't just say there's nothing special about you and then say I fell in love with you. Like, there has to be a reason why you fell in love.
Doesn't that offend you?
I don't know. I don't have the energy left for resentment or picking out subtlets. You're in love with me, and the reason why doesn't matter anymore. I'd just like to survive, you know. War suddenly touched my face and turned me to him. Oh,
I'll try not to kill you.
Honestly, that's the best thing he could say, because he inspires hatred and he's trying to destroy the world, technically, to unleash the universe itself or something. By opening that damn book. Him saying, I'll try not to kill you, is actually the best thing he could have said. I laughed. You truly are like a child. For you, this is all a game. A video game where you can save your progress or start over.
I don't know what you mean, but most likely you're right.
He pulled me to his lips. He was still the same clumsy brute who did only what he wanted because he didn't know any other way. What should I do? Oh my god, people. Oh yeah. I can't do this, can I? I can't do this. Whatever I want. If I make whatever I want, doesn't that mean that we're together? I don't know, people. I'm scared. Because technically I'll only find out later if I screwed up or not. But this is a very high gem choice. So that means that it must have a powerful impact on the storyline. Oh god, we're not together with Malbonte yet. Whatever I want, I'm gonna regret it, people. I know I will. Oh god, I know I will. I will regret it, I know I will. I parted my lips and let him deepen the kiss. I felt infinitely strange to kiss him. We barely knew each other, and yet we'd allowed ourselves to cross the line so quickly. Two lonely hearts that would always be lonely, no matter who was around. Maybe because we were broken? Sick? Maybe because we both don't know how to truly love? We only know how to become attached, clinging to heat in the hopes of warming ourselves even as we extinguish the flame with our icy embrace. I felt soft grass under me. It tickled my neck. Wara laid me on the ground and he leaned over me looking into my eyes. What are you thinking about? About us being crazy. I mean, is she wrong? Everything is subjective. It depends on which point of view you're looking at from. I laughed. Then kiss me and come with me. People, I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna regret this. Malbonte is my boo. A childish, mischievous smile played over Wara's lips. People, I'm gonna regret this. I just feel it. If he were human, what fate would have awaited him? I could see him as an athlete that drove all the girls at school crazy. He would flunk exams and organize protests in the teacher's lounge. He could have lived a fun life. I passionately reciprocate, trying to drown out my thoughts. It was unbearable to consider alternate fates that could never be. Not for me, not for him, not for anyone else. We had only one life, where he was the horseman of war, and I was a foolish immortal drowning in a whirlpool of emotions. He grabbed my clothes, about to tear the fabric, but I stopped him in time. Slow down. I showed him how to undo the clasp and knots. He continued this work slowly, intently. His calloused fingers refused to perform such a delicate task. I'm gonna regret this. People, I'm so petrified that I messed up. I'm so petrified. This is the Malbonte version, and I'm just trying to take as much gem choices as I can. This is so bad, people. But I made his attempts to undress me without resorting to force even more precious. I was naked before him. Now it's your turn. That's a new phase, but I love the bra. I took off his armor and threw it aside. I ran my hand over his large and powerful chest, over the blotched muscles on his arms. All of him was like a rock, impenetrable. But what if it was only a shell that protected something soft? I said everything there was to say in the season finale. He is one of the purest beings. War pulled me closer. He breathed out unevenly, then repeated my gesture, stroking my legs. He studied me the same way I studied him. His face grew stony, as if he was holding back his feelings, and it hurt him to do so. What's wrong? I don't know. I've never experienced such desire. Wow. I feel I messed up. I messed up. Instead of saying anything, I rose up to kiss him again. War picked me up in his arms, and sitting down in the grass set me atop him. You do it, I can't. I don't want to misjudge my strength. His huge hand squeezed my buttocks. I hesitated, scared for a moment of everything that was happening. I was frightened by his desire, just like War was. We're crazy. I sank down on him. A loud sigh escaped from my lips. My shoulders tensed from a wave of pleasure. War made a strange sound, something between a groan and a croak. We glanced at each other in confusion, embarrassed by our reactions. But then confusion was momentary, and I began to move, paying close attention to his every look, touch, and the sound of his voice. War buried his face in my neck, nipped it, and then kissed me. He guided my hips, covering my collarbones and breasts with his kisses. I felt tiny compared to him, as if I was lost in his arms. War's fingers left bruises on me, but this pain only intensified my pleasure. Ah, so you got a king for pain. All right then, girl. I clung to him, and I couldn't believe that roughness could be so tender. Is this called love? He asked that question into my lips as he entered me quickly. When our breath merged, we had strength only to whisper. I responded, No, War, this isn't love, this is lust. He leaned back, covering his face with one hand and squeezing my thigh harder with the other. I leaned back, surrendering to him, completely immersed in a surge of emotion. Wow. I knew it was gonna be a picture, but War has never been as close to anyone as he is to you. That was one of the most beautiful pictures I've ever seen. I would have liked to see him, though. I trembled and dropped onto his chest. War was breathing heavily, his nose buried in the crook of his elbow. He wrapped his other arm around me, warming me with his body. I was silent, biting my lip. Then I heard his voice. If this isn't love, then what is it? Passion. Now you know what it is. Attraction, passion, and after. Does love come after? No, it doesn't come until the very end. He tensed his fingers again, gripping my skin. Okay, I understand. Are you? I raised my head. And meeting his gaze, I realized he wanted to know love. I slowly got up, trying not to look at him, knowing my troubled heart would torment me with questions. I have to go. The others are worried. Go. I got dressed and before taking off looked at him. You'll know when it happens. War propped himself up on his elbows. I will die if I love. Yeah. And the problem here is, people, why I've said I had many comments on episode 9 and episode 10 of season 1. Where they were like, she has the feeling that she's bad for not feeling guilty, that she killed War. And like, everyone goes with their feeling, with what they think is right. I couldn't kill War because I saw that he had redeeming quality. He cannot fall in love because he inspires hatred in others. So if he falls in love, then he immediately dies because it's literally his opposites. He's not Avatar. He cannot tame any other emotion. He inspires hatred in others. So if he falls in love, then he immediately dies because it's literally his opposites. He's not Avatar. He cannot tame any other emotion. He inspires hatred in others. So if he learns to let the opposite emotions sink into him, he dies, because that's literally his opposite. He cannot fall in love, yet he doesn't want to fall in love. What does that show about him? That he's actually just a prisoner of his powers. He does not want to be a horseman, but since the universe itself gave him that purpose, he can't do anything but obey. And I feel so bad for him, because he wants to. He wants to love. I nodded, not even knowing what I was agreeing with. My throat ached and tears gathered in my eyes. Without answering, I flapped my wings. Okay, we're not together. We're not together. Okay. People, I was petrified, people. I was so petrified. I was petrified that I screwed up big time. As soon as I landed, Eliza ran out to meet me with Mimi. Mimi hugged me and Eliza immediately attacked me with questions. Where have you been? We're all worried. Diamond, Mammon and Dinah are still looking for you. He took me to some island. Everything is fine. Maybe go to the portal and tell your father what happened. We'll go to Arogan. Okay. Mimi touched my shoulder and took off. Eliza and I headed towards the building. I'm fine. I'm here. I'm all right. Mom turned sharply to look at us when we entered. Everyone looked at me with relief. What did he do to you? We had sex. Nothing. We just talked and I flew away. the biggest lies.
Nothing. We just talked and I flew away.
Did he let you go?
I wouldn't be here otherwise. Yes.
What were you talking about?
Nothing.
I love it.
Nothing important. He's just lonely.
Nonsense.
That's literally what it was. Arogan touched his chin thoughtfully.
We can take advantage of Simona not killing the horseman. He may become attached to her. This could come in handy. But we'll return to that later. We need to discuss what happened on Earth. Mortals know about our world. At least they understand that there are some higher powers. The world is on the brink of destruction.
I shivered. It was terrible. But it no longer concerned me, but getting emotional wouldn't help them. I didn't envy them. They must be saved. They must be saved! Like, they make part of us now. I'm an immortal now. I know that and I accepted that. But mortals still make part of us. They make part of our world. We have to try it. They're defenseless against the horsemen.
But what's more important now is that the horsemen are looking for the remaining 2 horns. This proves once again that I didn't set you on the wrong track as you suggested.
What's this about horns?
According to rumor, after all the seals have been opened, the horsemen will need to blow 7 horns. We have 2. One was in the citadel, and we managed to steal the other from Plague during the battle. As far as we know, the horsemen have 3 more.
5 in total, so that leaves 2.
Apparently one of them is among the humans. Plague has access to the school's entire library. She could have figured it out.
We turned to look at the sound of his voice. Donnie stood in the doorway, serious but scared. Noticing Mom's displeased look, Arogan said,
I called him. Come in. If the horn is among the humans, Plague will look for me. With the help of the eyes, she would find it in no time. If she could find us so easily, she would have already. Don't worry.
Donnie wasn't particularly comforted by his words, but he nodded nonetheless. I mean, it is true, though. She can't find us, or else she would have showed up here many, many times already. Like, she needs us and our mom.
We need to find the remaining horns and hide them where the horsemen can never reach them. As far as I can tell, they can't call the Mother of Life without them.
It seems like Arogan wanted to go down to Earth to test his theory, and it wasn't about altruism. Arogan was my mother's mentor. What else was I expecting?
If that's all.
Fenzio stepped toward the door, but he stopped.
It's getting harder for me to get out of the academy. If I stop communicating, I've been killed.
Damn! He just said it like that and bolted. Damn, son! The door slammed shut behind him. Would anyone besides Dino grieve if he were gone? I looked around at those present. No, it seems not. We needed to focus on ensuring our own survival. After all, the dangerous hunt for the last horns was just beginning. Yep. Oh, goodness. People, I started with 612 gems. 377. This episode was insane, though. I would say from the information it was more like neutral, but I think it was a warm-up for the later episodes. We know now what is going on. We know that we can go back to that place where we gathered those portal gems, because Plague was there, so she will be waiting for us there, so we can go back. And I still didn't see my soulmate Malbonte. This is making me sad, but I'm relieved that this actually was just another diamond choice where you can get closer to someone, but it wasn't like a final choice. I would have screwed up so badly if that were true. But yes, at least for the replay, when I do the war version, I'm not gonna have to pay for that again. But yes, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that we can see Malbonte in the next episode. Please. But yes, hope you enjoyed it. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye.